Hi, I'm Dr. Khurrum Shaukat Yusafzai. Today's video is about PIA Planetarium in Peshawar at the Hayatabad township. It is located right in the center of Hayatabad. On its east side is actually Ghani Park. Ghani Park is actually a famous park named after the poet Abdul Ghani Khan, brother of Wali Khan. Adjacent to this park is the PIA Planetarium, which has a beautiful gate, and this land was actually allotted in 1984 during the era of General Ziaul Haq as an amenity plot for the purpose of establishing an aerospace aviation scientific museum. So this was supposed to provide education and entertainment to the children and to the people of Pakhtunkhwa, but it never was operated. And why it was not operated today is the subject of this video, although it can be a jewel of entertainment for the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This planetarium belongs to Pakistan International Airlines, who actually owns it and operates it. Nearby, adjacent to the PI Planetarium, is the Dean Heights apartments, and they are hard to miss in Hayatabad because they are right in the center. At the north side of this is actually a hotel which is being constructed, and it's known as Marriott Hayatabad, which is still under construction, and the front gate is on the south side. So on the east side is Ghani Park, on the east side is the Dean's apartment, and its main gate faces the south, and on its north side at the back is this hotel Marriott, whose buildings you are just observing in the video. Besides, there is a cycle stand for the BRT, which is the rapid bus transport system, the metro of Peshawar. So these are nearby. You can hire a bicycle from here as well. So it's very beautiful place, and it's convenient for the people to come here and enjoy this museum, and it could have provided opportunity for the children to study aviation and the aerospace, know about the planets, etc. So why is not being operated and what really happened? So today I will tell you the story. So before telling you the story, I would like to tell you about what really is a planetarium, because not many people in Peshawar know about the planetarium. Actually, there were 4 planetariums planned in 1984, and the one in white actually operates, and the one in red, like the Hayatabad Peshawar one and the Quetta Balochistan one, is not actually operating because of the reasons I will discuss in this video. So as you can see, the definition of a planetarium is a museum made for aerospace and aviation and science and technology. And who owns it? It's the federal government. PIA actually owns it, and it's part of the federal government. And this plot was actually given tax-free as an amenity plot. There was no money being paid to buy this plot. It was totally free and it's tax free. Its area is about 30 kinal, and the cost of making it, so about $600,000 were actually used to buy the machine, and in total estimate of how much money it was spent on making this whole project is about $1 million. The cost to run it is about 100,000 PKR as salaries, because the employees who work here were actually employed on contract, and about 100,000 for electricity and the water bills of the utilities. So this is the one of the first planetarium which was built in Karachi in 1984. As you can see, it's beautiful. It's situated in Gulshan-e-Iqbal, and it has space, lounges, eating places, as well as place. There is a dome-like structure where you can see the planets, and there is this projector which shows you a movie about the planets, and there are telescopes. There is a beautiful Boeing 707 parked right in the middle of this park, which the kids can enjoy and go inside, and they can see the aircraft, its controls, the cockpit and the seats, and provide a lot of educational and scientific value, because the kids would understand about the aircrafts and they would actually be interested in aerospace and aviation. So about the same time all these planetariums were planned. The second one was built in Lahore in 1987 in the Chaubarji area, and it also has a Boeing aircraft parked inside of it, and the dome-like structure which you can see has the projector and also places where you can learn about the aerospace, telescopes, and also some eating place. So this is providing entertainment for the people of Lahore as well as education and scientific value. So this arrangement was also planned for Peshawar. Like in Peshawar there would be a PIA abandoned or scrap aircraft would be parked here for the people. But according to a newspaper article which I dug up during my research, the equipment which was bought in 1984 for Peshawar and Quetta, it was rotting in Karachi in the godowns of the Pakistan International Airline, and they were at Karachi and never actually sent to Peshawar. So right from 1984 to 2011, the equipment which was supposed to come here in Peshawar was rotting at the godowns of, and the excuses were put that law and order situation or whatever. It was apathy of the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa who did not actually look at accomplishing this project. So for that's 2 decades that the equipment was lying over there, and it's such a costly equipment because it was brought from Germany, this projector, and it shows the movie which is not even updated according to the newspaper article published in Dawn newspaper, one of the premier newspapers. Then on 2nd of April 2011, the government of Awami National Party took initiative, and Mia Iftikhar Hussain of Awami National Party inaugurated this on the 2nd of April 2011, and it was open to the public because this party has done a lot for education of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa by establishing a university in each and every district. So he, by inaugurating this science and aviation aerospace museum called the PIA Planetarium, did a big service to the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And this is one of the best political parties of Pakistan. because of their policies and also because of their initiatives which they have done for the people of Pakhtunkhwa. So salute to them for opening this and inaugurating this on the 2nd of April 2011. This is how the planetarium looked at that time. You can see the beautiful lawns, well maintained, and the building white in color, shining, and the beautiful picture tells you the story about this planetarium. And the projector was being run and the ticket was being charged about 90 to 100 rupees, which was a subsidized ticket, and it would pay for the salaries of the employees, about 100,000 in all, because they were contract employees of the PIA. There was a Facebook page with telephone numbers and a website which currently is not working, but this Facebook page is still active, and it shows that the Karachi and the Lahore planetarium is working. But if you look at Peshawar, like this is the ticket house, where at the front gate, and the ticket house still has the signboard. That's the guard room, and the ticket house, you can see the prices of the ticket at that time, and it could have been a great opportunity for the school children to come here and also, you know, get acquainted with the aerospace and see the big Boeing aeroplane right in the middle of this planetarium. Also watch the planets via the projector system, which cost so much to bring, and it was here and it was being operated just like it was being done in Karachi and Lahore. But right now, if you look at the gates, you know, the lawns are gone and the building is, you know, giving a haunted look. And if you look at the guard room, you know, it's completely empty and it's burned down. Somebody has burned it down. There are no guards, there is no staff. It's like a ghost house, you know, practically empty. In the background, you can see the new 5-star Marriott hotel being constructed right in the background. The, you know, in the north side is also the big mosque, the Jamia mosque of the Hayatabad, known as the Zargon Mosque, which is right adjacent to it, and the Ghani Park is also next to it. So you would understand where this is situated. Most of the people of Peshawar don't know about this scientific museum called PIA Planetarium. Even they have passed in front of it multiple times. The Marriott Hotel is also being constructed very slowly because economic activity has totally finished because of the conditions in nearby Afghanistan, where the Taliban were supported by the Pakistan, and they created havoc and the whole business ran away from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, causing economic deprivation of the people, and people were totally neglected. And although large amount of revenue is brought from the Middle East by the people who are labor class, they bring around 10 to 15 billion dollars annually from Saudi and the other Gulf countries like UAE, etc. But the apathy of PIA, Pakistan International Airlines, the federal government and the provincial government is very evident, as currently the same government of PTI is actually running the affairs. So this is the west side gate. So there was a front gate in the south. There is a gate on the west boundary wall which faces the Dean's Height, and there are actually two gates. There is another one in the west side which I will show you. This is the first gate, and you can see the building in the background. It's totally there's junk lying over there. This could have been put to a good use, this building, and it could have provided a lot of opportunities and entertainment, and there was garbage all around. The PDA is not taking care. PDA is a corrupt organization, Peshawar Development Authority, run by corrupt bureaucrats from the provincial government under PTI, and they are negligent to the cleanliness. And according to reports, the PIA staff was harassed and kicked out from here. And this is the second gate, which is on the west side boundary wall. If you go inside, you will see the north wall, which is near there's a road at the backside, and the road goes up to the Marriott Hotel, backside of Marriott Hotel, which is under construction. You can see the Dean's Height building. This Dean Height was not in the master plan when this was a park, and later on the corrupt officials converted it into an apartment building. Otherwise the PIA Planetarium would have been visible from the road which is adjacent to the Dean's Height. It's a pity that the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa are not bothered about their assets and their parks and whatever belongs to the government and to their generations, because if the people are not bothered about their own well-being, entertainment for their children, and the whole society will become barbaric, and they will become desensitized, and they will not have good mental health. So because of apathy of the political parties like Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf towards this kind of amenity plots which are supposed to serve the public, has resulted in the rise of fundamentalism and rigidity in the people's mind. The children are not getting proper education, and they have been denied this opportunity from science and education. The people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa actually has requested the government many times to open this PIA planetarium, but even in spite of the fact that the government they voted for is in the government, but they are not bothered about the well-being of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, because their priorities lies somewhere else, maybe in the Punjab province, although they get the votes from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So it's about time that we should take care of this matter. You can see that the land where the PIA plane could have been parked, there could have been telescopes and things. There's totally bushes and there's nothing. It's just a building, and the paint has totally vanished. Very sad sight for the eyes. This is the boundary which joins with the Ghani Park. The jogging track is visible. So how come this project, which was supposed to be opened since 1984, although it was inaugurated by the Mia Iftikhar Hussain of Awami National Party, so how come it operated for a year or two and suddenly it was sabotaged, and why it is not operating currently? If it could have operated in 2011 when the law and order situation was worse, and it operated for maybe 2012 or 13, then what really happened that in 2016 or 17 It was shut down and it is not accessible by the children. There's so many children, and the schools, they could have come and had good entertainment and education here in the aviation museum. So what really happened? That's the question maybe on your mind. So let's see who is behind sabotage of this beautiful PIA planetarium. This is the underground maybe parking for this Marriott hotel. So this is the guy who was the chief minister under PTI government, Mr. Pervez Khattak. So in his tenure, what really happened, that an effort was made to sabotage, and a land grab was planned to get this plot, which is about 30 canals. The estimate of its price would be in billions. So these corrupt politicians of PTI, they wanted to land grab and deny the people of Peshawar, and they made a cunning scheme which looked nice and is superficial, but this cunning scheme was made through the Department of Tourism Corporation of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which comes under the provincial government and directly under the chief minister, Mr. Pervez Khattak, who was the chief minister at that time. So he planned a Hunar Mela, or the Hunar Fair. Hunar means craftsman. So he planned a fair of the craftsmen. So that Mela happened in 2016 in January, and maybe repeated again in May. So in that time, the provincial government occupied illegally the land of this PIA planetarium, although this belongs to the federal government, not to the provincial government, because this amenity plot was given to the federal government during the time of General Zia-ul-Haq, the military dictator, in 1984. So since 1984, the legal owners were the Pakistan International Airlines, and they were not asked maybe for this Hunar Mela Fair. And as you can see, the stalls are there, and the Khattak dancers from the are performing there, and the women and the people are here, children, and they're going through these stalls. And these stalls were erected here, and the provincial government used this. They didn't pay any single rupee to the federal government or the Pakistan International Airline, to the owners, and they used it twice. One was January 2016 and the other was the May 2017 or 16. So 2-3 times they used it. And since it's an amenity plot, the illegal use was actually done by the provincial government. So they illegally did that. You can see the dome of the PIA planetarium in the background of these dancers. So it's pretty evident that the provincial government was using this land without any permission, without any paying the money to Pakistan International Airlines, which owned this PIA planetarium, and they did it illegally via the Tourism Corporation. Although it provided good entertainment to the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, there was a musical extravaganza, as you can see. There were a lot of singers and dancers. There were lights, there was music, there were fireworks at the end. And the Hayatabad people remember this. I have a movie of this one to show you the actual how it happened. So now remember this, that It opened in 2011 and it operated right up to 2016. And in 2016, the provincial government uses it for a fair, which is not a scientific or whatever fair. It's basically a culture fair, and they use this. So the culprit, of course, is the provincial government under Mr. Parvez Khattak, the chief minister of PTI. So he did the wrong thing. He had the whole promise to his disposal, and there were other grounds in other places, but he deliberately did this in order to do his devious scheme of land grab, because the politicians are the one who actually are behind the land grabs, and they get free lands as corrupt politicians. And PTI is not different from other political parties in corruption. So now what you see is the result of that. So he did this, and he actually used the PDA, which is the Peshawar Development Authority, to actually cancel the plot to PIA. And he devised a cunning scheme. The PDA started writing letters to PIA that they want to cancel the plot, and they threw off the employees who were working here, and they beat them, and they burned one of the guard rooms. So since 2016, this is lying vacant, and the building is not being maintained. There is no guards, there's nobody, and they actually wrote a letter to PIA that they want to cancel their plot. Actually, they misused the plot by the provincial government, as I showed you, but they are blaming PIA for misusing it. So PIA is definitely using it for the purpose it was given to it, which is the PIA Planetarium. And you can see it was operating. It was inaugurated in 2011 and it worked up to 2016, but right in the 2016 the provincial government starts claiming that they are not operating the PIA Planetarium and they are misusing it and they're using it for some other purpose. And then they asked PIA to give them 60 million rupees. This is a free plot. This is a plot on which contract it's written that is, since it's being used for educational and scientific purposes, it's a free land from the PDA towards the PIA, Pakistan International Airline, a government owned airline, and it's totally free and there is no tax. Suddenly PDA wants to ask 60 million rupees by blackmailing Pakistan International Airline, which is a federal government entity. It's a corporation which belongs to the federal government. Until 2016 it was a corporation, and it's still being run by people from the government in uniform. Like currently there is Captain Arshad Malik, Chief Executive. Arshad Malik is a retired AVM from Pakistan Air Force, and there are a couple of Air Force guys in uniform running Pakistan International Airline. And imagine they are actually installed by the same PTI government which are in the provincial government and also the federal government. So it's totally bizarre that the same government which is in federal government as well as in provincial government are actually fighting each other, and they are actually putting a bogus case in the court that this land has been misused by the PIA, although the misuse is actually done by the provincial government, by the Chief Minister Mr. Parvez Khattak, by actually conducting a Hunar Mela not once but twice in 2016. So this is pretty interesting and pretty bizarre. And this did not stop here. When he tried to make the BRT, as you can see the logo of BRT, he actually parked the buses of the BRT. BRT means bus rapid transport. So as you can see the Dean's building in the background, and there is this bus imported from China, and you can see it is being unloaded in the PIA Planetarium. Pretty bizarre, like they have the whole province and they are going to park these buses in the PIA Planetarium. So that's the third violation of the provincial government with malified intention in order to land grab this very expensive plot, which is right in the center of Hayatabad, costing billions of rupees. So this is another picture of the bus parked in the ground of PIA Planetarium in Hayatabad, Peshawar. So sad that people think of cunning schemes in order to deny education, deny entertainment, deny things which actually the PIA Planetariums in Lahore and Karachi is functioning, but we are so cursed, this province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, that we cannot have a scientific museum or aerospace museum or planetarium for which the government has paid the taxpayer money in $1 million dollars has been spent on it. The machinery is here, the building is here, but we have these corrupt political parties called PTI destroying this beautiful thing. And you can see they destroyed the western wall. They cut a hole in order to park these buses because the PIA was not allowing them, and it was their right not to allow them, and they broke the walls. You can see the wall is totally breached. That is the fourth illegal thing which the provincial government under Mr. Parvez Khattak did. It's bizarre and it's sad that this is very illegal, like trespassing and breaking the walls, the boundaries of somebody else's property is a big crime, and one can be jailed for it, and one can be jailed for destroying somebody else's property, and the chief minister should go to jail for this thing. But it's Pakistan, and Pakistan is the land of the corrupt. As you can see, the ugly breach is over there, which is a big evidence of the corruption of the Parvez Khattak and his illegal actions, denying the people opportunity of education, of entertainment. So in 2020, I found another article in the Dawn, the premier newspaper of Pakistan, that the court case is between the provincial government versus the federal government. This is so bizarre, Same Imran Khan is the prime minister. He has the provincial government in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and he is also having a federal government. So it's like one hand boxing the another hand. This is totally bizarre that provincial government is suing the federal government, and the federal government is the Pakistan International Airline, and the provincial government is PDA, Peshawar Development Authority. They are wasting the taxpayer money on stupid law cases, claiming that PIA should be denied the plot because they're not using it for PIA Planetarium. Look, 2011 to 16 they were doing it until they were stopped by the corrupt chief minister of the PTI government. So and they are asking for them to pay 60 million rupees. Now PIA is also claiming that provincial government should give them 150 million rupees. This is getting bizarre and bizarre. It's a totally bizarre, sad and interesting story which I dug up with a lot of research for you, so that you would understand what is really going on with the PIA Planetarium in Peshawar, and that would increase your knowledge. And since I gave you the evidence from the newspapers. This is the whole story. I hope somebody from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or the Pakistan area come up and save us from these corrupt people, and also open up this beautiful PIA planetarium for the people of Peshawar, who were practically starved of any opportunity because the cinemas were closed because of the government policy. The education institutes are being closed down by the PTI government. I don't know what kind of policy. It's such a bizarre policy that I don't know what to say about it. I repeat my words. Pretty strange. And still people vote for such stupid politicians who would land grab the land allotted for aviation and scientific museum. Anyway, you subscribe to my channel and also press the bell icon, because there are billions of videos, and in order to know about the beautiful province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, about its history, its culture, you have to subscribe and also press the bell icon. So I thank you very much, and take care of yourself, and have a good day. Goodbye.